Remember the days when shag carpets ruled, and pastel walls were the height of sophistication? The 1980s were a time when home design was unapologetically bold, quirky, and a little experimental. Today, we're diving into 10 forgotten home features that defined the 80s, some you'll miss, and others you're glad stayed in the past. Let's rewind. One, the iconic conversation pit. Before open floor plans became the go-to in modern homes, the 80s were all about defined spaces. One standout feature was the conversation pit, a sunken seating area, often surrounded by built-in couches. Designed to foster intimacy and social connection, these pits were the ultimate gathering spot for everything from family game nights to deep, late-night conversations. These were often adorned with shag carpets and bright cushions that screamed 80s color palettes. Think burnt oranges, avocado greens, and mustard yellows. And while they were visually stunning, they weren't the most practical. People tripped over them, and cleaning the sunken area became a chore. By the early 90s, they had faded into obscurity, replaced by less dramatic, more functional living spaces. 2. Floral sofas and overstuffed furniture. If you walked into a living room in the 1980s, chances are you'd be greeted by a floral print sofa, a staple of the era. These sofas were big, bold, and, dare we say, busy. Overstuffed with exaggerated curves and plump cushions, they were designed for maximum comfort, but they didn't age well in terms of aesthetics. Often paired with matching curtains or throw pillows, floral furniture dominated living rooms and gave off an air of domestic warmth. However, their intricate patterns quickly became overwhelming and clashed with evolving minimalist tastes. Today, you'd be hard-pressed to find someone voluntarily reviving this feature, though vintage lovers sometimes incorporate it for that "so bad it's good" appeal. 3. Glass block walls. The semi-private divider. The glass block wall, a hallmark of 80s design that was somehow futuristic and retro at the same time. These semi-transparent walls were used in bathrooms, kitchens, and even living rooms to divide spaces while still allowing light to pass through. The blocks themselves often had a frosted or wavy texture, giving rooms a sense of privacy without feeling closed off. While they served a purpose, they weren't exactly easy on the eyes. Over time, the bulky, dated look of these walls fell out of favor, as sleeker materials like tempered glass and open layouts became more desirable. 4. Wood paneling everywhere. No 80s home was complete without wood paneling, and we mean everywhere. Whether it was living rooms, dens, or even bathrooms, dark wood paneling was the interior design equivalent of bell-bottom jeans. A trend everyone loved at the time but quickly regretted later. Often made from cheap, faux wood materials, paneling was chosen for its affordability and the cozy, rustic vibe it created. However, by the 90s, people were painting over it or ripping it out altogether, replacing it with drywall and lighter colors that better matched the decade's brighter aesthetics. 5. The pastel palette takeover. The 80s were obsessed with pastel colors. Soft pinks, blues, greens, and yellows found their way into every corner of the home. From walls to bed linens and bathroom tiles, pastels dominated because they were perceived as calming and modern. Paired with brass accents and glass-topped tables, these colors created a breezy, Miami-inspired vibe. However, the pastel takeover didn't age well. As the grunge era of the 90s brought darker, moodier palettes into fashion, the light and airy pastels of the 80s began to feel dated and overly saccharine. 6. Popcorn ceilings. The textured nightmare. Perhaps one of the most infamous home features of the 80s, popcorn ceilings were everywhere. Created with a spray-on technique, this textured finish was inexpensive, easy to apply, and great for hiding imperfections. However, its appeal quickly waned as people realized how difficult it was to clean and how easily it trapped dust and cobwebs. Worse yet, many popcorn ceilings contained asbestos, leading to their widespread removal in the 90s and early 2000s. Today, Homeowners cringe at the sight of these ceilings, associating them with outdated and hazardous design. 7. Brass fixtures. The shiny statement piece. In the 80s, brass was king. From light fixtures to cabinet handles and even faucets, shiny brass accents were everywhere. They added a touch of glamour and sophistication to homes, complementing the era's love for bold, metallic finishes. However, brass didn't age well. By the 90s, it was deemed too flashy and gaudy, replaced by more subdued finishes like brushed nickel and chrome. Today, brass is making a subtle comeback in its matte form, but the high-shine version of the 80s remains a distant memory. 8. The sunburst clock, a wall icon. A true 80s wall art staple, the sunburst clock was part clock, part sculpture. With its bold, spiky rays and shiny metallic finish, it served as both a functional timepiece and a statement piece. These clocks were often the focal point of living rooms or kitchens, embodying the 80s obsession with eye-catching, futuristic designs. Although they've mostly disappeared, sunburst clocks occasionally resurface in vintage stores or as ironic decor pieces for retro enthusiasts. 9. Avocado green kitchens, a bold statement. No 80s kitchen was complete without appliances, countertops, or cabinets in the unmistakable avocado green shade. This earthy tone, often paired with harvest gold or burnt orange accents, dominated kitchen decor throughout the late 70s and into the 80s. From refrigerators to dishwashers and even backsplash tiles, avocado green was everywhere. Why was it so popular? The color represented a connection to nature, tying in with the 70s environmental movement that bled into early 80s design trends. It was earthy, grounding, and gave kitchens a warm, homey feel. But by the mid-80s, tastes began to shift. Kitchens transitioned toward brighter, more neutral tones, and avocado green became a symbol of outdated interiors. Today, while the color still holds nostalgic appeal, most homeowners would hesitate to revive an avocado-themed kitchen. 10. Built-in home intercom systems. Imagine walking into your home and using an intercom system to call your kids down for dinner or to check who was at the door. In the 1980s, built-in intercoms were a must-have feature for tech-savvy families. Typically installed in walls and connected to various rooms, these systems were considered a futuristic luxury. They allowed easy communication across larger homes and often doubled as built-in radios, playing background music throughout the house. However, their reign was short-lived. As cordless phones and eventually cell phones became more common, intercom systems became redundant. Homeowners started removing them, especially as the technology aged poorly and repairs became costly. Today, most people associate built-in intercoms with retro movies and outdated home tech. 11. Wallpaper borders, the decorative edge. Wallpaper in the 80s wasn't just a design choice, it was an event. And one trend that took the decade by storm was the wallpaper border. These decorative strips of wallpaper were applied near the ceiling or around doors and windows, adding a patterned or textured frame to a room. Common designs included florals, stripes, or pastoral scenes, reflecting the cozy, maximalist aesthetic of the era. Wallpaper borders were an easy way to customize a room without committing to full wall coverage. However, as minimalism gained traction in the 90s, these borders quickly fell out of favor. Today, they're considered a hallmark of outdated interiors, though vintage enthusiasts occasionally revive them for a playful nod to 80s decor. 12. Waterbeds, the ultimate 80s luxury. If there's one feature that screams 1980s excess, it's the waterbed. These liquid-filled mattresses promised unparalleled comfort and a touch of luxury. They were marketed as the bed of the future, offering better sleep through gentle waves that conform to your body. Waterbeds became a cultural phenomenon, featured in movies, TV shows, and even advertisements as the ultimate symbol of cool. Some models even came with built-in heaters or mirrored headboards. But they weren't without their downsides. Leaks were a common issue, and the beds were notoriously heavy and difficult to move. By the 90s, their popularity had dwindled as people realized they weren't as practical as traditional mattresses. Today, waterbeds are a niche product, fondly remembered but rarely revived. 13. Vertical blinds, the window solution everyone loved. In the 80s, vertical blinds were the ultimate modern window treatment. Perfect for sliding glass doors and large windows, These blinds were both functional and stylish, offering adjustable light control and privacy. Available in bold colors and textured patterns, they were often paired with matching valances for a cohesive look. However, over time, their clunky operation and noisy slats made them less appealing. They were eventually replaced by sleeker, more user-friendly options like roller shades and plantation shutters. 14. Built-in wet bars. Party Central. The 1980s loved a good party, and nothing said entertaining in style like a built-in wet bar. Found in dens, living rooms, or even basements, these bars came complete with a sink, shelving for liquor, and space for mixing drinks. They were often crafted with mirrored backsplashes and glass shelves to display fancy glassware and bottles. Wet bars were a reflection of the 80s love for socializing and casual luxury. However, as drinking culture evolved and lifestyles became more health-conscious in the 90s, their popularity waned. Today, they're considered retro relics, though some homeowners repurpose them for coffee or juice stations. 15. Colored bathroom fixtures. A rainbow of options. Forget white or neutral bathrooms, the 80s were all about colored fixtures. Toilets, sinks, and bathtubs came in shades of pink, blue, green, and even black. These colorful bathrooms were designed to make a bold statement, often coordinated with matching tile and wallpaper. While they were undeniably striking, the trend didn't age well. As tastes shifted toward cleaner, more timeless aesthetics, colorful bathroom fixtures quickly became a design faux pas. Today, they're rarely seen outside of retro-styled homes or quirky Airbnb listings. 16. Linoleum floors. The 80s kitchen standard. Long before luxury vinyl or ceramic tile became the go-to for kitchen flooring, linoleum reigned supreme. Its affordability, durability, and wide range of patterns made it a favorite for 80s homeowners. Popular designs included geometric shapes, faux tile, and even wood grain effects. However, as more premium flooring materials became accessible, linoleum fell out of favor, often viewed as a cheap and dated option. Today, it's making a small comeback in eco-conscious designs, but it's still far from its 80s heyday. From waterbeds to wet bars, the 1980s were a decade of bold experimentation and unapologetic design choices. While many of these features have vanished, they remain a testament to a time when homes were just as eclectic and vibrant as the people living in them. Which 80s home feature do you miss the most? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more nostalgic deep dives.